How about the earnings from PLTR and what their CEO had to say? How about a great interview with Meet Kevin and Patrick Bet David? I want to give you some advice that I shared with Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth about YouTube. And finally, what is the latest and greatest from Black Knight, aka ICE Mortgage Monitor? Lots of stuff going on today, lots of stuff for you and I to kind of break down and really understand what is happening in the economy, in real estate. It is, I think it is February 6th. It is a Tuesday. So let's talk about mortgage rates. We talked about it yesterday morning that I had suspected that the 10-year was jumping, and in fact it did. So much so that the average mortgage rate reported was over 7% again. Now, mortgages have been on quite the roller coaster this year. But as somebody who's been watching this for years, what I would advise you to think about is, what does this mean to the consumer? Right? We undoubtedly know now that demand has been unlocked. Interest has been unlocked as rates fell from 8 to, let's call it, 6.5. Now they are up. They're over 7. There are really two reactions that you and I need to look for. One, is 7% the new 8%? What do I mean by that? We clearly saw the market retreat at 8%. Affordability or lack of affordability won out. I think it's fair to say that we now know that 8% is, in simple terms, bad. But 7%, we don't know. Let me say, I doubt it. I believe the consumer, which is somebody I have been tracking for decades, is rather predictable. I suspect one of two things will happen when an interested buyer goes back and sees that interest rates jumped. One reaction could be, I'm done, I'm out, this is crazy. Some will undoubtedly say that. Others may have PTSD or flashbacks or memories of rates going to 8. And yes, folks, yes, they may even be more motivated to find that house, write that offer, get a mortgage rate lock-in. Because they don't want to be priced out at 8, but they're okay at 7. In addition to this, there's a lot of people talking about transactions once again crashing. I will remind you that housing doesn't move like stocks. Remember, there are deals in escrow right now that have mortgage rates locked. They are not impacted by this jump last Friday and Monday. So please remember that this is not crypto or stocks. This housing purchases is a process that is 3 weeks at best and more often 6 weeks. And again, the debt is often fixed or AKA locked. So now the question becomes, how long do we stay over 7%? My completely wild guess is we are not over 7% by the end of the week. But we shall see. I am wrong all the time. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Will we be over 7% this Friday? Yes or no? Let's get the comment section going. Let's see if we can get the algorithm to pick up some interest. So just type yes or no if you think interest rates will be above or below 7%. And let's use Mortgage Business Daily as our report, or even better, let's use Lance Lambert from Resi Club on Twitter. He posts something every day about rates. So let's use Lance Lambert as the arbiter of Friday's 7%. I'm going to take the under. Who's taking the over and under with me? Let's talk about Palantir. Palantir, in my opinion, is one of these stocks like Tesla. It has a passionate fan base. The fan base that has been in Palantir has been being rewarded this morning. I don't know if you've seen it, but they beat on revenue and came in as expected on earnings. Palantir CEO had the following things to say in what can only be described as a great conference call. Again, I do not touch stocks that are that has such a rabid fan base. I don't touch them. I was burned by these back in the day, and I told myself, no thanks, not touching them. But this is what the CEO had to say. Commercial business is exploding. We don't know what to do with the onslaught of demand. Unrelenting demand. Now, keep in mind, they hit earnings and they exceeded revenue by a couple of $1 million. The reason I don't follow high-flying stocks like this is they often have that charismatic leader, a la Tesla, a la Palantir, that really gets this tribe behind them. And I think they sometimes miss when they've been sold a bill of goods. I don't know. Unrelenting demand, onslaught of demand, and you beat revenue by a couple of $1 million. Really? Does that smell a little fishy to you? Who knows? I'm not in the stock. I don't care. If you're in the stock, congratulations. You're making 20% today. I hope, frankly, it doesn't hurt me at all. I hope you make 20% every day. I hope Palantir is a $50 stock and you all print millions. It means nothing to me. I just would never touch a stock like that, given my past burned from these kind of stocks. I want to give a shout out to Meet Kevin. He interviewed Patrick Bet-David the other day, and I'm only about halfway through, actually a little bit more than halfway through the video, but right in the beginning, Patrick Bet-David went on this rant about hero making. And I frankly loved what he had to say about what we should do. Like if you're a mayor, congressman, whatever, we should celebrate publicly the heroes that we want. And Patrick Bet-David talked about having 7 or 8 different categories, right? The teenager, the college graduate, the small business, the retiree, whatever it is. Let's celebrate publicly what we want others to do. It is so simple that I would like to ask you, if you have a story yourself or you know of a story that needs to be celebrated, let me know in the comments, reach out to me on Instagram or send me an email on my website, and we will get some of these stories publicized. Again, I think it is such an easy thing to do. It is easy to share positive information. Positive news doesn't go as far, but I can do my little part to share and recognize some of these heroes. So again, full credit to Patrick Bet-David for the idea. I think it is something we can all do. So if you have a hero out there, doesn't matter how small or big, send me a note. Let's figure it out. Let's see if we should share it with the world. Second note, on Meet Kevin's front. I don't know if you saw his video this morning. He and his wife, Lauren, were welcoming triplets to the world via a surrogate. And apparently one of the little girls, Summer, is having a little bit of difficulty. So if you know Meet Kevin, if you want to send him a note, do me a favor and send him some love, send him some prayers. They could all use it. Yes, Summer has Summer's going in for surgery as a little wee infant, and she needs some of our support. So if you could send Summer, Meet Kevin, his wife Lauren, and other kids some love, that would be very nice and very easy for all of us to do. Let's talk about my conversation yesterday with Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth. And Josh, thank you for the super chat, the $2, reminding about thumbs up. I appreciate you. I want to give you a shout out for that. Thank you. Appreciate you. But let's talk about Casey. As you recall, last week I asked Casey to put out a video on her YouTube channel, Brick by Brick Wealth. She successfully did that, a 2-minute introduction video. Yesterday, I had a conversation with her, which is published, you should take a look at, basically asking her to dump all of the baggage and thoughts you have about YouTube, about B-roll and edits and this and getting it perfect and overcomplicating it and simply taking the joy out of YouTube. I asked her and got her commitment to do 4 videos. 1 today, 1 tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. 4 videos. So if you could go over to Brick by Brick Wealth, send her a note maybe on IG and say, hey, nice job if she does them, or where are they? They're supposed to be out at 5 p.m. Central starting today. Again, folks, I implore you to start a channel. You don't have to overcomplicate this. I am doing this on my phone with a wired microphone. Yes, I am so old that I don't want to do wireless mics because I don't want to have batteries. You have a story, you have a passion, share it with the world. Stop thinking about having it perfect. You will find your tribe. We need more positive people. We need more people that chase impact over dollars. If you are interested in dollars, money on YouTube, here's the recipe. Talk doom, talk about crazy headlines, and just make everything negative. If you want to have impact, if you want to be a part of my world, talk about what you truly enjoy and chase impact. It's amazing once you build up the repetitions and you truly see the fruit of your labor. It's worth it. It's hard. It takes time. Yes, some people on the internet will be mean. Who cares? Block them. It is worth it. You have a story. You have a gift. You have a passion. Share it with the world. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go ahead and watch that interview with Casey. I really broke it down, tried to hold her accountable. We talked about topics and the like. What's going on with Black Knight? Black Knight was obviously purchased. It's now called the ICE or ICE Mortgage Monitor. Couple of things. As rates have fallen from 8.03, affordability has gotten better. It's math, folks. It's math. Affordability is approximately 5% better than when it was over 8%. In addition to that, inventory is up. It is not up a lot, but it is up. Second, I want to highlight something I called earlier in the week and will keep repeating. The housing depression is over. Now again, lots of you hear that and don't realize I'm talking about transactions. We are going to see 2024 be a positive transactions. You are going to do 4.2, 4.3 million transactions. That will be up 10% roughly. You will do more refinances. That will be up. Again, real estate for 6 to 8 quarters was negative drag on GDP. It will not be the case going forward, in my opinion. To that end, 46% of loans, or 2 million loans that were originated last year, will receive or could receive upwards of a 75 basis points cut in rate if rates fell to 6% by the end of the year. On top of that, it's estimated that according to Black Knight or ICE Mortgage Monitor, that 33% of loans will see a full 1% betterment in rate. So yes, folks, the mortgage industry is out of a depression. We are seeing mortgage companies hire people. This is exactly what a rolling recession looks like. I know all the doomers don't get it, but hey, it is here. It is in the news. I will give a shout out to Melody Wright. Melody Wright has been on the channel multiple times. She has warned us to watch FHA and VA loans because their delinquency rate is trending in the wrong direction. It is not yet concerning given historic numbers according to Black Knight, but Black Knight does highlight that that is something to watch. And of course, I want to give a shout out to people that talk about it first. And in my world, Melody Wright was the very first to talk about FHA and VA delinquencies. So we should give her credit. We should recognize her for her call, and we will continue to watch that. And then let's talk about something that I thought was wild. These numbers are so crazy, I'm actually not sure if they're true. That's how nutty these numbers are. Now again, let's be clear. I do think they are accurate, but I think the story they tell is crazy, just wild. So what does the average mortgage holder, right? So you have a loan, equity position today. This is according to Black Knight or ICE Mortgage Monitor. According to them, the average mortgage holder has $299,000 of equity. Let's call that 300 grand between friends. Now, all of that equity is not quote unquote tappable. But if you do the math, there's about $200,000 or exactly $193,000 in equity that is tappable. That is wild. A lot of people don't understand that we have a bifurcated consumer base. This is our economic education of the day. What does a bifurcated consumer mean? Well, a bifurcated consumer means you could break it down as haves and have-nots. I think that is easier for folks to see. And in this case, the haves, what do the haves have in this bifurcated story? Well, A, they own assets. I can't say it any other way. They own assets. If you are a renter and listened to the fools, the crash bros, and did nothing because you were waiting and you're renting, unfortunately, in this discussion, you are not on the right side of the equation. You are on the have-not equation. So if you own assets, and second, this is important. Hear that again. This is important. If you finance that debt at low fixed 30-year rates, you are sitting in the catbird seat. You are letting inflation make you rich. You have fixed rate debt in an environment where wages are going up 5% roughly. In short, you are winning. Now, who's not winning? Unfortunately, folks with variable rate debt, with rent that will be adjusted higher, these are the folks that are feeling the greatest pain. If you were listening to the Crash Bros in 2020 and 2021 and did not buy, and now you are renting, you have probably seen some crazy rent increases, which is unfortunate because now it is harder and harder to save. So a bifurcated consumer is haves and have-nots, asset owners with fixed rate debt. The have-nots, unfortunately, are non-asset owners. Folks, at the end of the day, I want to close with one more just caveat because I do believe One Rental at a Time community is full of amazing individuals. I learned this morning, like many of you, that Meet Kevin's daughter, Summer, is struggling. We got an update just after midnight. He posted that. So I just want you all to send some prayers, some good thoughts, some love and support for someone in our community. I do text with him every once in a while. So Kevin, Lauren, the entire kids, we are all thinking and supporting you. We hope and pray that Summer pulls through, and we all look forward to meeting Summer someday. Alrighty, folks, take care of yourself. Have an amazing day. Bye.